I had a long conversation with the Godless Spell Checker on the podcast covering a lot of these things. But last night, or Friday night, on Real Time with Bill Maher, he had Milo Yiannopoulos on. Did a quick interview with him. I only watched that part. I did not watch the post-show thing that they do, where it evidently got a lot worse, where Milo got even more transphobic, and Bill Maher kind of said, well, that's not unreasonable. Yes, it was. Milo has terrible ideas. He's a self-hating gay Catholic man who won't hire gays because he thinks they're lazy and party too much, and they're almost as bad as women. He specifically goes out, that's what he said. He specifically goes out and trolls people. He loves all the negative attention that he gets on Twitter. He's a little Twitter masochist. And then he went on to misgender a transgender woman and say terrible things about her and targeting an individual. He is a despicable human being. But he has the right of free speech, and you have the right to oppose that and protest it peacefully, and I will support that entirely. But what you don't have a right to do is engage in violence in response to that. And what you possibly should do is not react to everything that he's saying. This is not just a simply, oh, the best strategy is ignore the trolls. I'm not saying just ignore them and they'll go away. What I am saying is that how you choose to react to people and what you do in response has consequences. And it may be strategically a horrible idea to elevate their status in some situations. His book sold, it's not even out, and I think it sold like 2 million copies. And I'd never even heard of this guy until a few months ago. There are big issues that we have to face and deal with. And I have friends who want hate speech to be illegal in the United States the way it is in other places. And I understand why they want that. But they need to think back. They need to think back to who watches the watchers. Who's going to be the one who determines what's legal speech and what's not? Who's going to be the one that says, oh, the atheists no longer get to talk because they are destroying God's country? The free speech laws that protect us, that allow us to do this show, are the same thing that allows despicable KKK members and Breitbart bloggers to say terrible stuff. And in my view, and this is for me personally, the best thing we can do is expose their hatred and expose them as ridiculous and expose them as not actually representing a significant portion of the population, if in fact they're not. To combat those bad ideas with better ideas. To when they go low, we go high. How come everybody loved it? When they go low, we go high, right up until, oh, Anacha got punched in the face on TV. Oh, that was so funny. Well, okay. But was it wise? And here's the question that I keep asking about the Nazi punching. We don't know who punched him, which means we don't know why. Maybe he got cut off in traffic. I think it's most reasonable to assume they got punched because he's a white supremacist. He's a white nationalist. Here's the thing. If you're that guy and you know you're going to be doing a TV interview, would it be a good strategic move to pay somebody to come punch you? I think it would. I think it definitely would get you the press that he got. Now, I don't know whether or not that person was paid. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if it would have been a good strategy for him to pay somebody, then it was bad strategy for somebody to do it for free. You lost the moral high ground. And I'm not suggesting, oh, just don't do anything about it. Oh, just let the, I understand. I get it. Never again. But we can be smarter and better about it. And I can agree with you on what the problem is and disagree on what the best solution is, and it doesn't make me a Nazi sympathizer. I can agree with you on the problem and agree that violence is warranted, but not agree at what point violence is warranted, and it doesn't make me a supporter of Nazism. And I find that there are people who I respect and are friends with who are using that line of reasoning. If you don't agree with me about that I should punch a Nazi on the street, you are a Nazi supporter. No, you are being emotional and irrational and not making a good strategic argument from my perspective. I didn't mean to do that rant, but
yeah.